What is up YouTube? LazeeLlama here, and here we are back with some Clicker Heroes 2 once more, grinding out World 34. So it's been a little bit. I think we did, what, 31 last episode, maybe 32. I think it was 32, but we did 33 off camera, I believe, and then we're on to 35, or 34, and this is what it looks like. I was reading the 35 damage. That was also a treasure chest there, which is insanely awesome. Treasure chests on final bosses are great. These have been some pretty harsh pushes, I'm not gonna lie. We probably won't even make the end of this world by the end of this video. I'm hoping to at least make it 25 zones, to be honest with you guys. That's the push. They've been going a little over an hour a piece per world, so it's making this hard, as I really don't have the spare time to get on and do this. The game itself plays automated here. It just doesn't purchase things right now. I could probably set up a really inefficient purchasing system. I don't think I want to. I could re-farm a world, and that might be some of my problem. You can see that this is 81 to 86, and I'm not 81 yet, and I'm halfway through the world. We're definitely behind. I haven't redone a world since that first one that you guys know about. The build is coming along though. We've come down. Again, we skipped this for reasons that I've explained before, that it's not really useful till after we do this first part I'm doing. But we came out and got Flurry, and we're going out and grabbing Killing Frenzy, and then we'll come back and pick this up, as well as a couple other things before we shoot down to grab small clicks and expandable small clicks, and that'll be like the very basics, core of the build. And I mean, there's obviously a lot more planned than that, but again, that's what we're working towards. Minor steps here. What we're aiming for. Grab that haste, of course. Haste is always great, as it does make your multi-click do a bit more than it was previously. But these are just such slow kills. They don't even really speed up. They probably go. I mean, the last 20 zones are generally decent, but even them sometimes it feels so slow. And I guess it's just kind of what we have to expect. I mean, what can I buy right now? I buy the cheapest item you can afford. Not what we want by any means. Buy a random catalog item you can afford. That is something we would need to use. Upgrade all of your items. Not quite. Upgrade your newest item could be good. Oops. Upgrade the third newest item. So like up to that would be decent. We have this first, second, and third. Could probably rock those, maybe even just 2 of them. I haven't really thought that out, how many of those we're gonna need to run yet. Purchase runes in the shop, yeah, that type of stuff is decent. But I don't mean to keep clicking it. I just don't think it's valid really yet to do that. I don't think we're gonna benefit enough. I think me picking and choosing exactly what we're taking is better. I'm actually gonna take the extra energy. I was gonna take the mana regen percent. My mana hasn't run out this whole time yet. I've purchased a couple mana things on different worlds and whatnot, and I'm buying as much as I can to help out. I mean, my rubies are probably, honestly, maybe even a little less than where they were last episode, because I'm actually spending them. Pretty much everything that comes up in the shop offers, as far as helping me out, I buy. And we're getting the shop to show up a decent bit, which I don't see as a problem. Again, once we get this build really flowing and get into a little bit more, I don't think we're gonna have a problem with the worlds. We should get to the point where, honestly, depending on how hard these guilds hit is really a problem, because this is my first time guilding, so I really don't know what to expect. But I want to say I'll be able to get them close down to sub 20. To be honest, it's technically, I believe the build is better than my last build. Who knows if it actually will come out that way, but that's how I feel. So that's gonna be the goal. Haste, of course. I should be checking the randoms. I've been actually picking the randoms up a lot, because there's sometimes you'll just get straight up 20% haste, or replaces all your non-haste upgrades with haste upgrades, which is really, really nice. This is actually not terribly slow right now. This feels like it's going relatively okay. Will we make 25 zones? It doesn't look like it. Without at least cutting, that is. I don't know if I want to do that or not, but this is the progress we've been making. It's been slow. The issue with redoing world is that I will be a little above, obviously 81, and anything you kill that's under your level won't give you XP. So it's up to the point where they level up above 81, which right now they're level 83. We won't get XP for. That's terrible. That's terrible. We don't want that. I don't really think I need to farm more. I don't think that's it. If you think that's what I should do, let me know. Anyone who's gotten farther than this, I'm curious. How many times do you redo worlds at certain guilds and whatnot? How far under is acceptable? Because I want to say I'm like 3 or 4 levels under this when I start each world. But I don't recall exactly if that's correct, so don't quote me on that. But I want to say that's roughly what we are. We haven't got any desert worlds in a while. It's been a long time since the desert world. Since level 25, we haven't had a desert world. Pretty upsetting, actually, because I do enjoy the desert worlds. But we're moving swiftly towards zone 200, level 200. Next episode, I don't want to say that. That's 20 zones. That's a lot. But we might be pushing it within the next like 2 episodes. We'll probably be getting pretty close to level 200 Sid, which is cool. I haven't heard exactly any news on when the Wizard's coming to the live version, rather than being on like the test builds, because obviously, like we've talked about, we will be doing a series on that as well with this. And I think I mentioned this last episode. The end of this week, or well, I guess this is probably going on the weekend. So within like a week of this video going up, I should have a channel update out that has a rough schedule. It will not be exact, but it'll have an idea on what I'm trying to get up, what days. There will be some videos that are specific, and then some will be kind of like my taste, whatever I'm feeling like uploading, and going from there. But we'll get to the point again where we should be doing, you guys should be getting multiple videos a day again, which is pretty cool. I want to get back in the groove of that sometimes, not every time, it won't be promised. But there should definitely be a video every day, which I've been really good about anyways, like at least a single video. Look at that, it looks like a decent gold pile. But yeah, we're coming up on level 60 here, which is where before I was really speeding up, like before we guilded. But it just doesn't get to that. And this is a like lighter item cost one. We're definitely step up the monster health a little bit. You can see from like here to here to like the same exact item cost, obviously 1% difference, but you can also see that the monster health is only 10 times more, which is what it's like every world. And then here, instead of going just 10 times more, it's actually 20 times more, with a little bit of item cost decrease. I don't know what I like. I don't know how I feel about one way or the other. When we have super low item costs, the worlds before guilding at least just seemed very easy. But I don't know if that's carries over to guilding. We haven't had that. I haven't got the experience, a 10% item cost world. I don't know what the lowest I've ever had was, but we've had some down there on the low end. 22%, 28%, 2%. Yeah, I haven't had something like that. 2% item cost. Like, I don't know what to expect. Obviously, the monster's HP would be significantly higher, so you'd have to scale that into things. But I don't know how the build would handle that necessarily. But what I'm going to do is I want to bounce out for a little bit again and come back and wrap this episode up a little bit later. I don't want to make these episodes too long, as right now I don't have a ton to talk about. We're kind of going. More of just giving you guys updates through these until something really sparks that we can carry a nice conversation on about. I think I'm going to bring in what we used to do for Click Heroes 2, and let me know what you guys, or for Click Heroes 1, what you guys think about this. Bringing back like comments of the day, which these would be more like comments of the week, because this is going to be a weekly series kind of thing. But bringing in your guys' comments and kind of answering them while we're playing the game. What do you guys think about that? We display them up on screen, like I show your comment up, and we talk about it. For any of the older fans would know what I'm talking about and have experienced this back with Cookie Heroes. Would you guys want to see that in Cookie Heroes 2? I think it could be cool. I kind of miss doing it. It brings back that kind of elevated level of mentioning you guys, and it could be about the game. It could be about me, it could be kind of like a Q&A kind of thing. You can kind of ask me whatever, and I might pick it and put in, anything about my personal life or whatever to an extent, obviously. But you can ask those kind of questions, and we display them in here. And in that, I always pick like anywhere from 2 to like 4, 2 to 5 maybe to go over. And we'd probably do roughly 5 in this, depending on how many questions are. Sometimes that we'd have like a low amount of questions. But if some of you guys want to see that, I think that could spark this up. It could be fun, and I think it could be very interesting to bring into things. So let me know if that's something you guys want to see. But I will come back when we're pushing in a little bit more in this world. Alright guys, so we're back here for the final push to the last 10-ish zones. We have another skill point to spend, meaning next world I will definitely be reaching this. Actually, I think we're a little bit into this level, but 2 more points we'll get that, and then honestly it's only a 2 more, so we'll get that and the other one next world, which should be super helpful. Those are going to make a relatively big difference. Definitely need to be popping this. We've been really fine on honestly energy. It's just been such a slow world, and you'll see how long it's taken me. And I slacked maybe for about 10 minutes of it. I could have cut down on, so whatever the time is, I probably could have been about 10 minutes, maybe 15 tops faster. But you'll still get the idea. As far as the skill points in the automator tree goes, my plan is I'm gonna be shooting up to this and going down this whole tree, and that's my goal. Honestly, is only to get that, and then obviously we'll get all the automator speeds as well. We basically need to shoot down and get all these as well, but I'm gonna do that after I get all of this, as the automator speed itself is decently fast. It'll obviously speed up because those seem to actually save and go on to your next guild as well. But other than that, I don't think I'm gonna be aiming I don't think I'll honestly need too much more. There might be a couple of things I need to snipe, and if I'm missing anything, feel free to let me know. If you saw what I did last time, I forget exactly what the ways I went were, but we got pretty much everything I can think of, and then down to this will be good. Basically, if energized is not active energized, and the way this whole thing should go is pretty much we'll always be able to be energized with mana and late in the build, obviously. But it's a useful stone nonetheless, as well as I think a couple more of these. Yeah, we can get like a reload getting going, and a couple things in there will be useful. But nonetheless, let's get to this. Try to beat this out, finish this out strong. Because even late game, how long it takes. I mean, we're only up to 27 clicks on our multi-click, which is nothing crazy. But we're not doing enough for normal click. You'll see if I spam multi-click here, it just, like, the damage isn't really there. You're better off letting it do its thing here, where we stack up big clicks. And huge click could technically be slowing me down. There's a chance certain areas could be faster without it. But I kind of like it just being part of the routine of just automation, just kind of doing its thing. But I don't know. I think it's good the way it is. We'll get this up. I normally don't go higher on this last push. I'm actually probably not going to go any higher than 60, but just because how slow this is, sometimes they're worth grabbing. I normally on this last run, it's the only one I normally don't go to 70 on it, because normally it's 50 on all of them, 70, 100, and then back to 50. But this last one, I only normally stop at 50. But I'm definitely gonna we're just gonna hang tight. We basically have to wait double the time, but we get 10 times the value for this next ability here. But even when getting that, this would still give a percentage. It's just I don't find it particularly useful. This chest might even help bump us up a good bit. We're really close. Yeah, by this chest we'll get it. Yeah, boom. And that'll be a huge damage increase. We'll take off. And normally I can get this to 100 in most of these, and get like this, and sometimes even this item. It all kind of depends on how it comes down, at the end. But we should be in pretty good shape. Obviously, if the shop comes, we won't be buying anything to really help out at this point. It'd be pointless unless it's like an automator stone, which I actually just recently got one from the shop, which is pretty cool. They're always helpful. Is obviously we're not going to get super far in this tree. Till I get a bit farther in this build, I have to get to the point where my build here is killing it fast enough before I can go farming, these, and because still in these first couple of guilds, it's a matter of farming those automator points. I'm just trying to think. I've got to plan out a little bit more. I've actually got to sit down and completely plan out what this is going to look like. I just know I need pretty much everything from there, and everything else I got. I don't think there's too much more I need, though. It's not really, running any of it. We're not running golden clicks. Most of this stuff isn't really necessary. I don't know if at any point we'll need like this set. The previous automator set could be useful to where it would change like sets on its own. Could probably find like a use for it, but I don't think it would be honestly like top priority or even something I really care too much about. So yeah, that's just kind of my input on that. But feel free to let me know if there's anything else you can think of. Obviously, I would take a look at what I've previously purchased, or you can even see in here. I'll even scroll through and just quickly tap them. I'm not going to give too much time as we're almost done with this anyways. I already kind of went through these earlier, since we're talking about this now. And then I'll scroll down here and you can see these. I know it's kind of fast, but you can, if you're going to help out with this part, you know, you can stop a second. But then, and other than anything else, down this big tree. Oops, this big tree out here. So up one more and then down all the way around and down there. That'll be the big goal here. We can activate this for ha-has because we're, you know, going to be fine anyways. We were so close to getting there. Definitely want that little bit of haste, which, yeah, it did even bump that up another number. But you can just see how much this drags. It's crazy. It's crazy, and you're gonna see the time. It's gonna be over an hour. I'm pretty sure this run is definitely over an hour. And they've gotten faster. The first time was 2 hours. The second time I even did the first one was over an hour, which I think you guys saw. They've gotten like a couple minutes faster each time, but it's not like they're getting drastically faster. I'm already know what it's going to be for the next world. It's a cut down on item cost. I'm afraid it's going to pop up on item cost, which again could mean less monster health, which might not be terrible, but that item cost sometimes gets you. Especially if you don't get a lot of shops that come in with like metal detector. Sorry, I was yawning there. If they don't give you a metal detector, you're kind of in rough shape sometimes. This world, we might even beat this. We're actually not in track to beat this right now. We have to get this upgrade to be able to beat this, or yeah, we'll get this first. Now we're gonna beat it, but you saw what I meant. Like we weren't actually on track to beat it. Any gold I see is gonna be worth it. So this costs more than it would be to buy one of these, but not by much. And you can see that this gives over double the damage. So I'm actually not gonna purchase this until we get into the next one, if we can even afford this by the end of it. Yeah, we're not even gonna be able to afford this. Unless this guy gives a lot. If we can afford this, this is what we want, because it gives us more. No, it looks like we're stuck with getting one of these, which really isn't the end of the world. I'm actually going to take that just for the extra haste, even though haste isn't going to matter too much here. Let's go. We'll even energy or reload. But we've definitely taken it. Taken a Slugapede down. No problem. He's going down. Is there a way to... I wonder if there's a way to hide the HUD and whatnot. It could be cool for moments like this. I still... Like, and I know I talked about this in the, especially earlier part of the game, like last series that we did, like the really early stages. The artwork in this game is just so good. That is one thing that they got completely spot on. And I talk about this in a couple games. Like, some games just have the most beautiful artwork. And this, oh my god. PlayStation did it completely perfect with this game. The style of everything is so great. There's not much artwork wise in this game that like I would suggest changing, but obviously we're gonna take this down. We'll check out the time, see how long it took. Definitely a while. Honestly, this may have been slower than last world, which I want to say was like an hour and 12 minutes or an hour and 15, something like that. The last world I did, and that was with really not much slacking around. Again, there was about 10-15 minutes of this one that I guess I was kind of not paying too much attention to, which you could cut down probably, but I also didn't have as many haste upgrades as normal this time either, so that comes into play as well. The less haste upgrades. I had a lot of crit damage, I think, but not a lot of crit percent, which, you know, doesn't really help. I could turn the numbers back on as well. I have the numbers off just because when I was streaming the game, I liked the looks of it better. Back when I was streaming this, like for those like 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, yeah, an hour and 41 minutes. Even if you shaved off 20 minutes, which I can tell you that isn't acceptable to shave off for the time. This took a lot longer. And next world, they do jump back up on the damage, although even relatively to that, this doesn't go up by quite 10 times. It kind of goes back to the ratio that this was, but the item cost is up. And you can see we're 4 levels behind. So it's like, do I farm it? Do I not? It tears you. It tears you completely. Obviously, I don't want to do another world in these videos back to back. Really, I always want to at least skip one world. I'm gonna try to get a decent bit farther in this run to try to get down. We're cutting this below an hour for hopefully next episode. I think could be kind of cool. And I don't want to promise this, but we've hinted and talked about this a little bit. We might do a YouTube stream of this game on one of these weekends coming up soon, within the next month or so. Let me know if that's something you guys would want to see. I can't stream consistently back on Twitch due to the same reasons as before. If you know about that, then that's why. But I could definitely spare a little bit to do like a YouTube stream, like just, you know, for a weekend or something. Could be kind of fun. If some of you are interested, definitely let me know down in the comments as well. But yeah, as always, guys, then we could do like a whole world together if it's taking, you know, this long, or if it's quicker, then we could do a couple worlds or something. But it'd be kind of cool, get the chat and hang out. But again, back to the whole comments of the day, or comments of, I guess, the week, but like for the episode, if that's something you guys would want to see again, but in this series, let me know. Or if you haven't seen it before and it sounds cool, you know, let me know, and maybe next episode we'll be bringing it in right then and there. So anyways, if you guys did enjoy, please take a second, smack the like button, and as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.